everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maureen, and today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about my new spring pattern, Nomi pattern ME2107, which is available now on simplicity.com and should be shipping to stores shortly. All right, so I made some notes because I love this pattern and I want you guys to be set up for success. And so this is my second Nomi pattern, my first spring Nomi pattern, and the idea and inspo here was really like Hillary Banks, and I feel like that's evident in the cover photo, especially the tweed one. I had this tweed in my stash for a while. I got it from a store in New York that sadly closed, but I was like, I know the idea that I'm going for. And so, yeah, the inspo is definitely like Whitley Gilbert, Hillary Banks type vibes. And I feel like that's captured, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's get into the details. So this is categorized as a Mrs. and Petite top with A, B, C, and D cup sizes and a skirt that comes in 2 lengths. So let's go back to the petite part. So you can actually adjust the length of the pattern pieces in the top and the skirt for your height. Me personally, I didn't do any sort of adjustments on the top or the skirt, but those lines are in the pattern pieces to do so. And that was something that I requested because, like I said, I wanted it to be a more personalized fit. I wanted there to be, again, a certain vibe. Hillary Banks, Whitley Gilbert, and to me, those television characters are people that always had fitted clothes, impeccable taste, impeccable fit, and just 10 out of 10 no notes, right? So also I wanted to make sure, again, with that almost like that custom type fit, that you guys were able to choose your cup size. So there's the A, B, C, and D cup sizes, which in my sew along I actually share how to measure yourself or measure someone else to figure that out. And I do want to mention as well that inside the envelope there is the instructions for how to measure for the cup size as well. So it's right there. And then the other thing I want to mention too is that the finished garment measurements are on the instructions. I know that we are so used to seeing them on the back of the envelope. I don't think there was a lot of space to put them, so they put them in the instructions, but I know they're in a different place, but they're there. Okay, so let's get into what this top has. So the top has princess seams, it's lined, you've got your cup sizes, you've got your button front here, and then you have 2 welt pockets. And I know that welt pockets can be intimidating, but my sew along is pretty heavily detailed into how to make a wonderful welt pocket. Now I will say, and I do this myself, make sure that before you cut into your gorgeous, beautiful fabric, take some of that fabric and just practice a welt pocket. Just do it for me. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for me. And again, that's something that I had to do. And I actually did it with both of these looks on the cover because the tweed reacts differently than the linen. I'll get back to that later. But if you're not comfortable with your welt pocket, you can always do a faux welt pocket, which if you go back to my fall Nomi pattern, those actually have faux welt pockets on the pants. So there's ways around the welt pockets, but again, if it's a challenge that you're willing to approach, I'm going to tell you, make sure you do a practice round first. So the skirt is an A-line skirt and it comes in 2 lengths, and it still has the little dotted line on the longer skirt to adjust if you want to. So the first length is a mini skirt, as portrayed in the insert picture here. And then the second one is really more of like a midi. I know on myself it comes down to my ankles, but you can actually make this into a midi and just kind of like have like a nice flowy A-line. Now about the skirt, it does have pockets. And then it's also got back darts, and then it's also got a waistband as well. So there were just some things that I really took thoughtful care of in making this. Going back to the top, I also want to mention too that the top is curved around the edges. And so that's one of my favorite features too, because it kind of gives like that, almost like a suit feel in a way. So let's talk about suggested fabrics. So suggested fabrics are boucle, cotton blends, denim, gabardine, jacquard, linen blends, pique, stretch wovens, suiting, and tweed. And then your lining can be cotton blends or polyester blends. So you guys are in luck because I actually used 3 different fabrics. For the pink look, I actually did a tweed, like I was telling y'all. Or if it's not really tweed, it's like tweed-esque. It acted like a tweed if you ask me. And then for the pinstripe look, that is kind of like a linen suiting blend. And then this is actually a stretch twill. All of them fit wonderfully. All of the fabric works wonderfully with this pattern. I will say that if you are planning to use a tweed, however, I am going to recommend that you interface all of those pieces. And I know this because when I did my cover, I had to do this. Tweed has the tendency to unravel, especially around the edges. And it has, because it's a looser woven, it has a tendency to stretch. So my way of preventing a lot of that and making the project easier for myself was honestly interfacing all of the pieces, even the skirt pieces, even the outer lining pieces, which you don't have to do, but it was just something instinctually that I knew would be beneficial to working with the tweed. So going back to the stretch twill, if you're worried about like the sizing for the stretch twill, I will say that I did not waver from my sizing with this when using stretch twill. In fact, I kept the same sizing from the cover to the sew along. And even though they all fit slightly different, and it's because they're different fabrics, stretch doesn't always mean you can go a little tighter, especially with a woven. So I maintained the size that I cut, and it looks beautiful. Okay, so let's get into sizing. So it runs from sizes 8 to 26. And if we are to look at the finished garment measurements for a bust, this runs from bust sizes 35 all the way up to 53. The waist on view A, which is the top, runs from waist sizes 30 to 46.5. And then if we were to discuss the waist sizing for the skirt, or really the hip sizing for the skirt, it would be 43 inches all the way up to 59.5 inches. So I strongly encourage that you guys take a look at the finished garment measurements, because they, as you guys know, they always tell a slightly different story than the body measurements on the envelope. All right, let's talk about some notions. So I have buttons. Obviously you're going to need quite a bit. So the button size is 7/8. You have 4 for view A, 5 for view B, and then 9 for view C. Now, of course, if you are to lengthen or shorten your skirt and your top, that's going to also dictate how many buttons that you are going to have or use in your project. Okay, let's discuss fabric yardage. So for this specific one, especially because my lining is the same as the outer, I used 4 yards of fabric, and I literally had just pretty much the edges of the fabric left. When I did my cover photos, I used a different lining, and so I had a little bit of fabric left over. So I would say around 3 yards for the outer pieces, and then maybe like a yard or 2 for the lining pieces. So one thing I will say is that, you know, going back to what my inspiration was and whatnot, there are a number of ways that I feel like this can be hacked or this can be worn. Obviously these can be worn separately. I love them together. I honestly feel like this is like a really great Easter outfit or brunch date, or just like a really pretty outing. You can honestly wear the top with a nice pair of pants, maybe my fall pattern pants. That's something that I plan to do, especially because you guys know I have the white pair, and I think with this red top, chef's kiss, okay? And then you can also pair the skirt with another blouse. Again, maybe the tuxedo blouse or another blouse that you may have in your closet. But this design was meant to be a continuation of my fall pattern. So my fall pattern was definitely like an androgynous look. To me, this is a way more feminine look, but I feel like it's the same girl. And so that's kind of where I was leaning with it, was that I wanted it to be in the same universe, I guess you can say. And so if you guys picked up on that, A+ for you guys. But yeah, so she's definitely the same girl, same style, same closet, everything, same mood board. One thing I would love to do, and I think I am going to do it, to be honest with you, is that I would love to do a like blue jean denim version of this with like really cool top stitching. I think the top would look so beautiful with like that like denim top stitching and everything, and just do like some snaps instead of the actual buttons. So that is something that I think I want to do either this spring or summer. I know that like it's like really cold across the country right now. I mean, hello, I'm in a hoodie, but because I won't have a summer pattern this year, I intentionally wanted to have this be something that can transcend from spring to summer, and even early fall. So there's that as well. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Now I am dropping my sew along for this video on this channel on Sunday, but if you can't wait for it to drop on this channel, you can go ahead and go to the Simplicity channel and watch it over there and check out the welt pocket installation and all of that. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share with a friend. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.